The Chancellor announced some amazing changes to pension rules in the March 2023 budget, and some of those changes are in relation to the annual allowance. Now, the annual allowance is the limit on how much money you can contribute to your pension in any one tax year while still benefiting from tax relief. It's not the maximum pension contribution you can make. You could make more, but you wouldn't get tax relief on contributions over the annual allowance. In the tax year 22-23, it's been set at £40,000 for most people. I'll come on to the exceptions in a minute. However, you can only receive tax relief on up to 100% of your earnings. So if your earnings are lower than the annual allowance, you're only entitled to receive tax relief up to the amount that you earn. From the 6th of April 2023, the annual allowance increases from £40,000 to £60,000 each tax year. That's a 50% increase, which will provide many people with an opportunity to boost their pensions. Now, there are two main exceptions to this annual allowance rule. The first is for people who've already accessed their pension pot via Flexi Access drawdown. If that's you, you're subject to the Money Purchase Annual Allowance. This was introduced as trying to reduce the recycling of pension withdrawals. See my video on pension lump sum recycling to understand more about that. So if you've accessed your pension pot already, your annual allowance is reduced to £10,000 a year. It was £4,000, but the Chancellor increased this to £10,000 from April 2023. The second exception to the normal annual allowance rule affects high earners, those with an adjusted income of over £260,000. Adjusted income means all income, including pension contributions, including your employer contributions, while threshold income excludes pension contributions. Now, the good news is that adjusted annual income used to be £240,000, and the new limit introduced from April 2023 is above £260,000. Your annual allowance starts to taper, gradually reduces by £1 for every £2 of income you have above £260,000. Once you get to £360,000 adjusted income, your annual allowance falls to £10,000 a year. That's more generous than the pre-April 2023 allowance, when the tapered allowance was just £4,000. It's good to know the carry forward rules, which were introduced to help mitigate any potential annual allowance changes that you may face. As long as you're a member of a pension scheme for the year you're looking to carry forward from, and that could include an old pension you no longer contribute to. You can carry forward unused allowances for 3 years, and you don't have to have had any earnings in those years. So if you're approaching April 2023 and you realise you've contributed more than your annual allowance to pensions during this tax year, you didn't use your full allowance in one of the previous 3 tax years, from 2019 onwards, you should be able to carry forward your unused allowance. Now, you can only benefit from carry forward once you've exceeded the current tax year's annual allowance. Once that's the case, you start by jumping back 3 tax years to use up any unused carry forward first. Then you go back 2 years, then 1 year until you've used up any unused allowance. The reason for this is to ensure the oldest unused allowance is used first, so you use it and don't lose it. Now, just to be clear, the carry forward rules only apply for the standard and tapered annual allowance. Does not apply to the Money Purchase Annual Allowance, where you've already accessed your pension. Anyone taking income from a Flexi Access drawdown plan or using an uncrystallised funds pension lump sum will trigger the Money Purchase Annual Allowance of £4,000. For those who are lucky enough to have had a final salary scheme, the full £40,000 annual allowance may still apply. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please press the like button. I have lots of other videos on pensions, so please subscribe, and of course we'll let you know when I put those out. My name's Justin King. I'm a chartered and certified financial planner. My aim is to help you live a successful life, and that often involves understanding your money. I host a podcast called the Retirement Cafe Podcast. You might like to check that out. Put a link in the description below. And of course, you can sign up for my weekly newsletter, which is packed with inspiration and tips for a successful retirement. For now, I'm Justin King, helping you live your best life.